Hey everybody, welcome back. This is a quick update that I wanted to make because I really don't know how else to explain this, but recently I received a birthday card and it had in it a $100 bill, and I wanted to burn it. And share that here because I don't know how else to publicly claim the actual feeling that I have about some of the things that have happened in my life recently. And just to put it into perspective, I was really thinking about this, not in a sense to gain any kind of a sense of attention. And yet the only reason I'm posting this here is because surely there has to be someone else who feels like this concerned, that are sometimes our direct relatives may not understand what we're saying anymore. You know, I mean, I get a lot of messages that talk about the reason for the season and Merry Xmas and stuff. But to have a conversation that goes deeper than those two thoughts, it's somewhat challenging for a lot of people. And I know that it must be challenging for more than just myself to simply try to bring back the conversation full circle to the point where you remember that I'm talking about a $100 bill. I received it from a family member. I wanted to set fire to it. It's a feeling. It's a feeling of anger. And so when you think in anger, there are things people might want to set fire to. Like, for an example, their very own dwelling. That's what my direct relative did. They set fire to their dwelling. And it was such an act of a tantrum. And it's hard to explain it as any other word, no matter what age we come across as, when we recognize that this person, well, thankfully, or if we're really talking about the season, thank God that nobody was hurt. And yet we don't hardly even give compassion to the thought that someone would set fire to the house. Why did I want to burn this $100 bill that they sent me? You know, they must be in a good place now. They're able to send you $100. The thing is that the person who burned the house down is someone who I have been having a heck of a time having a conversation with. And those conflicts, when it comes to having a conversation with somebody, are not alleviated by money. Money is not an apology. And so when I thought about setting fire to this bill, I decided to look online. You know, how easy is it to set fire to money? Like, does it light? Does it go up in flame? Do you have to add some kind of accelerant to it? All of these questions were the things that I was doing a search online for, and I found, burning money might actually be against the law. So I don't want to break the law. And so on top of that, it's an act of destruction, you know, and there's an entity that's here to kill, steal, and destroy. And so sometimes you can think a solution fully through and recognize that there's a spirit of truth and a spirit of error. And the truth is, as much as I want to burn something sometimes when I get angry, The last thing I want to do is send money to somebody to try and pretend that's an apology. It's not an apology. That is a form of an old way of thinking, and sometimes what's old just needs to die. And in terms of how I talk about that and how you hear me say it, you may perceive it one way or the other. Sometimes the old ways need to die. And we can't hardly have that conversation without some kind of an act of demonstration. What more constructive way to formulate a way to have this conversation than to change our tune? So I invite you to think about the reason for the season and tell me if these songs resonate with how you're feeling, if you also have ever felt like you wanted to destroy something just because you were angry. You know, it doesn't take a huge leap of consideration in one another to recognize, yeah, we've all felt angry. There are some people who are burning the house down, and that's why I wrote some of my songs. That's all there is to it. So for anyone who cares, sharing is caring. Have a great evening. Thanks again for tuning in. Peace.